Hi guys, hope you're all keeping well. We can get out and we've got to wear masks all the time and all that kind of stuff, But I've got a new little project. Some of you might recognise what it is. I got it last week. I always thought these things are out of my price range, but suddenly they seem to be a little bit cheaper to buy, or the price has come down on them, or whatever. In the background you can see all my bikes that I've been modifying. The 4-stroke has been running quite well, and I've put these new Mars tyres on the Kyoshos, and I put one on the back of the Venom as well, and I've got to say they are amazing tyres. The grip on them is like incredible. I've changed them all to direct steer now, so the little Venom body Kyosho's direct steer, which is fantastic. The metal one with the metal frame is really nice. I've got just a tyre on the back at the moment, but that seems to work well. And I've got a ZH tyre on the front. The little orange one, I put ZH tyres on them, on that. It's only a brush motor in there, but that goes really well. I'm still looking for a rider, if anyone has got one or wants to send me one. But the best one I had last week was that Venom. I'll bring it up. This little Venom I've had for ages, and I put one of them tyres on the back. These are the Mars tyres. They've got a really hard insert in them, fantastic thing. But this was actually going so good. It was like no crashes, and it was sliding and wheeling and whatever. It was just a fantastic thing to run. So at the moment, that is like, it was a really sorted bike, But again, the 4-stroke was going, it was putting wheelies and stuff like that. The engine was running a little bit. It was sort of cooled off a little bit. It wasn't so hot as it has been, and I had to sort of mess around with the mixture a little bit, but still going, really well. The week before that, I had a massive crash, and I bent the forks. It kind of hit a damp patch, and it spun up, and it sort of shimmied from side to side, and then it just went straight up in the air about 6 foot and come down on the front, and it damaged the forks. Snapped a few screws from the shocks and things like that, but I've repaired it all now, and I run it this week, and it's going just as well, so I'm happy with that. But back to this. This is kind of used to be the holy grail of motorcycles, which everyone wanted, I mean, some people like it and some people don't, but I've never actually seen one run. I have scoured the internet, over and over and over, and I've never seen one run. So I'm about to remedy that, because I will run this one somehow. I don't know how, because it's an off-road bike and it's got no gyro in it, but it's a very realistic sort of looking bike. And this one, as I say, came up last week. A friend of mine sent a link to it, and I'm quite happy with it, because the guy had sort of been restoring it, or he didn't actually do anything to the frame and that, but he'd actually bought a new engine for it, and he had to actually run the engine up. But I've stripped it all down because I want to put some new parts in it, make some new shafts. And it's all full of bronze bearings, like the old bronze stuff. So I've ordered all the bearings, like ball races, sealed ball races. So, hope they keep the oil in, because it's got a very strange kind of system. This is what it runs, a little OS10, the actual casing, because what this does, this actually fits in the casing. And the casing is actually heavier than the engine. It's quite a lump. This kind of goes in there like that, and you've got bevel gears that go across it. You've got engine mounts that go in here as well. So there's a couple of engine mounts which are these things here, so that fits on in there. So you've got the bevel gears like so, they run across there, and a chain. But what everyone likes about this is because the engine actually kind of looks very realistic, because it sort of sits in there like that. I'll just see if I can line it up a bit better. It sits in there like that, and then you've got this cylinder head. It's a mock kind of cylinder head or barrel which goes on there like that, and then you've got this. This is actually the cylinder head, and this is like the heat sink. So this fits kind of tight around the motor, so you end up with something looking like that, which is quite wicked really. But the exhaust runs kind of all around the engine, well, the casing. It runs around there and I think on the bottom there's a big exhaust, them holes there. On the actual, okay, out of here, there's a little block that goes on here, which bolts on to that. So the exhaust gases go around there. So these have got to be a really good fit for it not to leak. There was sort of half a gasket on it, and the engine was very oily when I got it, so I think it has been leaking. But I might just sort of get them dead flat and bolt them together with a little bit of silicone or something like that and see. But I've got, I got the instruction manual. It's in German, but it's okay. I've been working on, there was like down here, if you can see there's a line there, there's a casting mark, so I've actually machined them out so it looks more realistic. And what I'm thinking of doing here is I'm going to paint the whole engine, like all the casings, everything. I'm doing it in, I've got this barbecue, I think it's Plasticoat, fantastic paint. It's barbecue black, so it's heat proof. And what you do, you spray it and then you stick it in the oven for an hour to cure it, and it's absolutely, nothing will get it off. It is so strong, a good paint, heat proof, glow fuel proof, everything, it's fine. So I was going to paint it, and then I'm going to sort of machine these fins up so they're silver, so the engine looks black and all the fins are going to be highlighted in silver, which I think will look all right. You know, I've got a bit more fettling to do on that, but you know, these are the bevel gears. They're not too bad. They're like a sort of, I've got two different types. I've got some that are like sort of like a cast, they look like cast alley, but they're a bit stronger than that. These ones are like steel, you know, but they're both fairly worn. I did get a box of bits and pieces with it, and lucky enough I've managed to make up a decent set of gears for it, you know, because there was no greasing or anything. I'm sure you've got to grease these gears with something special to look after them, because you know they're not hardened, they are soft. We've got this is kind of like where the flywheel and clutch sits on. Got the old school clutch here, I don't know if you can see that. I remember them, they was in everything back in the day. I mean, this bike is 1978. 1978, can you believe that? You know, and the attention to detail on it is like superb. You know, some of it's not manufactured that great, but you know, the overall, you know, it looks okay. Now, one of the headaches I had are these wheels. Now, when I got the bike, I thought the wheels, or the rims, were like alley, but they were plated in that, you know, like the plate plastic, and it was in like a nice sheen, nice silver sheen, but there was a few cracks in it which I couldn't understand. But obviously when I got all the spokes out and took it apart, it is a plastic wheel, it's like a nylon or something. But I've managed to repair the wheel, and I've just sprayed it in like aluminium paint to match the hub, because the hub is alley, but the rest of it is plastic. The spokes, I think there's 36 of them, and they're 1 mil thick. I'm telling you, that took me, I would say, that must have took me nearly 15 hours to re-spoke, because the spokes have got, where they go in the end here, well, like on a normal bike, you normally got a nipple on the end. Well, these haven't, they're just like a hook. Can you see that? It's just a hook. So you put them in and you very carefully go around, try and put one, you know, to strengthen up. And if you tighten one spoke up, it pulls it over, and then one next to it, the spoke drops out. You know, it's really frustrating job, absolutely frustrating job. And then you've got to true it up, you know, you've got to put it on something, you've got to get in the centre as well, and then true it up, you know. But this was the rear one. Now what I actually did in the end was I put like the certain amount of spokes in, and I actually used a little dab of Evo stick on each one so it couldn't fall out again. I've done the same on the reverse side, and then, you know, it still wasn't easy, because you've only got to get one spoke out and you're miles off. So, you know, the rear one didn't take me so long, you know, but the front one, it's got a really strange kind of spoke. You can see green paint on there, that's why I was marking them, so I could see where I was and what I was sort of doing. But this one, that took me like hours to do, you know, but they've come up nice, the wheels look nice. The tyres are a little bit perish, but you know, nothing too bad. These tyres actually, in fact, they were like a slick tyre, and you actually got this tread, and it was on like look at it, like an inner tube, and it was a little band of tube with the sort of knobblies on, and you had to cut it, and then you had to glue it on the slick all the way around with a knobble. So it's kind of like almost like cricket bat rubber handle, you know, that rubber you get, and it just stretches over, and it's got the knobbles on, but you've got to glue it. You know, it must have been this. The guy who did this must have been a genius, because he's done a really nice job of it. You know, all them years ago, fantastic job. And there's a little bit of perishing on it, but overall they're not bad. Lucky enough, they was only glued on very weak, you know, so I managed to get them off. I've ordered all the wheel bearings for it, proper ball races, you know, because they were, again, they was all like, you know, bronze bearings. I mean, in the back wheel, it's even got like a little drum brake, so that goes in there and that operates for the rear brake, which is quite nice. So, you know, there's not many bikes today that have got spoke wheels, and I don't think there's any of them. Oh, like the no frost, is it CFS or something? I can't remember, but you know, I've found a guy who's making decals for these, so you know, I should be able to get a nice set of decals. I mean, that's a lovely little tank. Now, a lot of people, again, I mean, this was made, this is the seat, look, it's huge, because under there you were supposed to get 2 standard size servos, the receiver and a battery, all had to go under this seat. So they made it, that's huge, you know, and it doesn't, you know, it sort of like fits, it goes right up in here, like it looks terrible, but I'm going to work on that. You know, I know it's not, some of the purists would say, oh, you know, you're messing about with it, but I want it to look right, and I think it can if I mess about with this seat. Now I'm lucky, I've got most of the parts. I mean, things like this are like gold dust. This is a rubber cover which goes over the side of the motor. I believe it goes on this side like that. It's not in fantastic condition, you know, but it's not bad. The only thing I've got missing is there's a little piece that goes in here, rubber, I think, that says Yamaha on it, but I'm not too worried about it. The engine is brand new. The other bits I've got to repair. I mean, lucky I've got these with it. I mean, I've got the fender, I've got the front mud guard, you know, they're very thin sort of plastic, but it's got a few cracks here and there. And I've got the rear one as well, which I probably have to paint. That needs a little repair on it. But I use this this EMA. I use this glue, plastic weld, you know, it's fantastic stuff. It's sort of, some plastics it'll just kind of melt it away. It don't do plastic card very good, but some ABS and stuff, it wicks its way in, and once you glue it, it's sort of stronger than the original thing. So I can do some good repairs to these, which I'm kind of looking forward to doing. I mean, I've got all the frame bits in a box here. I mean, that's the down tubes, as you can see, the cradle for that, and the engine sort of fits in there. Swinging arm is made out of 2 pieces. It's a lovely, delicate kind of swinging arm. You know, it's in 2 pieces. That all goes together. The thing, expansion chamber, that's made out of rubber. 2 bits glued together. There's a little piece missing off of here. It goes from here and round, but I'm sure I can make something up for that. The other bits I've got. Now this, I mean, the weight of this you won't believe. This is the leaning fork arrangement. I don't know if you can see it. It actually operates this leaning fork. I mean, that's got to be some sort of servo on there as well to operate that. But you know me, I'm probably going to lock all that up, and I'm just going to put a normal steering on it. I'll try it like this, you know, to start with. But I would imagine it'll go better, you know, if it runs at all. I've never seen one run, because, like you say, most off-road bikes, you have a gyro in the back wheel. My ARX and Ricky Carmichael and Anderson and all that stuff, all got gyros in them. But this one, it's relying on this type of steering. I can't really believe the engineering in this, and, you know, the weight of it. You know, it's, whether this bike ever run with this setup on, I don't know. You know, we'll have to see, but we'll go from there. The forks as well, they need a bit of work. I mean, very basic. You know, you got a flat on them. like that, and the screws just stop it falling out. They're all a bit wobbly, you know. It doesn't look like it's worn or really, it's just how they come. And the rubber gaiters, they just all fell apart, so that's something I'm going to look for. I was thinking of using, like, you know, on the radio control boats, they got them bellows that go on the push rods. Maybe I can convert something like that or make something up from that. Now, the other thing is the rear shock. Now, you're going to look at this and go, right, watch this. Yes, that is the rear shock. Can you believe that? Is it long enough? I'll tell you why. This is the frame, what the tank sits on, i.e. it kind of sits on there like that. And this, believe it or not, goes underneath here, like so. I think it goes on this way. So it goes underneath here like that. So this sort of thing sort of pushes up and down. Now whether I'm going to keep that or not, I don't know, because I just, and again, the weight of that, why they couldn't just put a normal spring on it, you know, like a proper damper on it, I don't know, but you know, it is what it is, and it was 1978 and they come up with that. I'm sure I can alter, like, it's sort of catching on it and everything, you know, it's not very nice and smooth. I'm sure I can make a little shock more realistic to the YZ 250. You know, they were lovely bikes in their day, they still are really, but you know, this is pressed steel, which I'm probably going to repaint. What else have I got in this little box of bits? Oh, this is the rear. Now this is the rear frame. Now you can see how far the seat goes on that, so the seat is going to stick, you know, it's going to stick right up like that, which is very, you know, looks really ugly duckling. But I've noticed on some of their brochures and on the front of this manual, I'll just show you this. I think they must have thought that it did look ugly, because that looks fantastic on there, that seat. But if you look down here, they look like they've actually sort of cut the frame and glued something round it to lower the seat back. So I may do something like that, because I can use micro servos and a small battery and blah blah. It'll be tiny now, so I can lower that seat down and, you know, try and make it look a bit better. Now I've got the chain, looks like it's brand new, so that should be happy days with that, no problem. What's I got in my box of bits? Oh, that's the hub part of the rear drum. You've got a little cutout there for the brake to go through. The throttle's operated by a rod, the rear brake's by a cable, and the steering is worked by a rod. Now, these are the yokes, quite nice machines, quite good quality, only cast, but you know, they're alright. And like I say, I think I've got some of the gaiters here somewhere. If anyone, you know, that's about what I've got left of one of them. Look, can you see, it just perished. If anyone's got any ideas of where I can get something like this, a piece of tube like that, that I can make up a set of gaiters for the forks, just drop me a line, send me a mail or reply to the video, and you know, help me out a lot. This is the servo tray, you know, massive, another big lump of iron. Lucky enough, I've got a little chain guard on the front. You know, all the odds and sods are in this little box. I mean, got lovely little chain adjusters. I mean, look at those things, you know, proper scale, proper, what I call scale modelling, you know. I think I can make this bike look really nice. Whether it'll run, but I'm determined to have a go. I won't sort of leave it in, you know me, I'm not one for leaving stuff on the shelf. I have to run it. But that's like where we're getting so far. Let's put some of this stuff away in here. You know, I hope you like these videos. I'm getting a few more subscribers, you know, not many, but that's okay. I quite enjoy making them. You know, and this is quite a rare thing, you know, to have, and I'm hoping that I can sort of do it justice and get it, you know, to run. I've got one more. I've actually got two projects. I've got three on the go at the moment. I've got a Falcon boat, which came to me sort of half built, and you know, I've started, which I've been working on as well. And I've also got, I think you see in the background, I guess some of you guys know what this is. This is an FW03 Kyosho, kind of really sought after car, you know. And I've gradually been buying parts for this, costing me an arm and a leg to find stuff, and it takes me months to find stuff, you know what I mean. I couldn't find the fan, this fan here, if I love no money, you know. So I decided to make one, which is this one here. I've machined that out of a solid piece of aluminium on my lathe. You know, it took me ages, but as soon as I made it, one of them came up on eBay. So, you know, I kind of want to have it original if I can, you know, because that's the whole part of these cars is to kind of have every original part right down to the screws, you know. So I'm looking for an exhaust now, and I think I've got all the parts to finish it. It's just the exhaust I'm looking for. That is a brand new engine, brand new OS26 car, FS car series, you know, never been run. It just come out of the box. I've done a deal with a friend of mine, and Kay, and I got that beautiful engine. It's never seen fuel, you know. So, and all the other parts are new as well. The actual, I've got all new wishbones, new gears and differential. I've got the larger 2-speed gearbox, because you have to have the big gears in this car. So I've got like the big, I mean, look at them monster gears on that clutch bell. Oh, just massive. I made my own stainless steel brake disc, I copied one. You know, and really I've got kind of all the bits now apart from the exhaust, but it just needs putting together. But I've kind of got so into this, like this Yamaha YZ 250, that I'm kind of leaving that stuff, you know. I'm waiting for some servos for the boat. Once I get them, I'll give this a little rest, because the wheels were the main headache. The rest of it's quite easy to restore, but the wheels, you know, they had some little cracks in between the spokes. But say, that glue has kind of got hold of it, because there's quite a lot of pressure on them spokes. You wouldn't believe. When you start truing them up, you know, today, this one took me ages to true up, but the front one was okay. And then I was truing them up on my lathe, and I actually dropped a spoke into my swarf tray, you know. It's 1 mil diameter. You know, I mean, it's not easy to find in a swarf tray of your lathe, especially when it's not been cleared out for about 3 months. But I went through it like a detective, bit by bit, sifting through it like an hour, and I found it. So happy days, because, you know, to try and get another spoke like that, I was thinking, well, maybe I might have to make one, you know, buy myself a little 1mm die and tap, something like that. I may do it anyway, because I haven't got a tap that size, you know. But say, these little knobbles are just glued on, you know, they're like an amazing thing, you know, and I really do like the look of that. The only thing with these rims, I've got to try and fuel proof them, you know. I was going to lacquer them, but that's just going to come off. I'm thinking of just doing them with, there used to be a stuff called Tough Coat. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but anything that's sort of polyurethane is good. So I might even go around there with a slow sort of polyurethane clear kind of varnish and just go around them and see what they look like. And I don't really want to take them apart again and spray it, but you know, we'll see. I think I can remember how to do it, but it's not a good job taking them wheels apart. So anyway, guys, this is what I'm up to. I hope you can see all my little goodies in the background there. You know, that 4-stroke is a beautiful thing to run. It sounds so crisp and lovely. And the 4-strokes, you know, they're nice as well. The little Kyoshos we've got around here. I mean, that little green one there, that's got the venom body on it. And it's got Mars tyres front and back. And it is, you can't believe it's a Kyosho. You can rip it around, you know. It's one of the best mods you can do. And with that fairing on, gives you so much ground clearance, you know, it is fantastic. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to sign out now. Hope you like the vid. Subscribe or give me the thumbs up, or any questions you want to ask me, or, you know, I don't mind getting back to you, whatever. I'm still waiting for my Tyre engine. I've been waiting months and months, and Lucas is not getting back to me now. So he did say it's going to be posted on the 7th of August, but he got back to me just after that, and because I said, like, have you posted the engine? And he said, oh no, it's going to be in the middle of next month. But I've sent him a few emails and he's not got back to me now, so I'm hoping, you know, that he will get back to me and give me a, you know, a time when this 2-cylinder engine that I bought will be here, because I'm really looking forward to doing something good with that engine. So if you're out there, Lucas, get back to me and let me know, you know, what's happening about the engine. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up now. I've waffled on long enough, and I'll see you in the next one.